This is from Mama Mac. Thank you for the super chat. Was talking to a boomer, lifelong Labour supporter at my dad's 80th birthday earlier this year
Aw.
that voted Green for the first time because she thought Chloe would build the best world for her grandchildren. So that's a pretty cool chat there.
That's far too Mickey. Yeah, shout out. Thank you so much for sharing that. It's very affirming. I guess, as you can all assume, as politicians, we get a lot of hate. So it's nice to get affirmation. But if I can just point something out in that feedback, I do get so wary. It's very, very kind, but I get so wary when people put me on a pedestal, because I think that that's where unintentionally we can buy into some of the individualization that the right really want us to buy into. So we need each other, whānau. That's the key
Yeah.
message from me. If anything, we need each other.
The kind of last two questions, sort of there's three questions here, but because I think it's really important we don't let it go and let it go away. And as I said, we could talk about this for an hour now, but what do we need to know? What do we need to be thinking about when we're looking at places like Gaza today?
What we need to know is that we are currently having a genocide live streamed on our cellular devices, and world leaders, so-called world leaders, are refusing to act. And that is, words fail me. Honestly, words fail me. Because we had spent, a year trying to get this government to act, and we thought that, potentially the likes of the findings and the outcomes from the ICJ and the ICC, the requesting, an arrest warrant for Benjamin Netanyahu, and findings of plausible genocide, let alone all of the reports from NGOs internationally over the last not only few years but few decades. That should be enough to compel so-called leaders to act, but evidently it is not. We've been pushing this government to act for the last year, and they have refused to do so. So as of a week ago, I put an Israel sanctions bill into the biscuit tin. What's important for people to know about that is that if we get 61 non-executive members to sign on to support that legislation, then it bypasses the biscuit tin and gets onto the floor of the House. We had unequivocal support from Te Pāti Māori from day one. So with the Greens and Te Pāti Māori, that's 15 MPs from the Greens, 6 from Te Pāti Māori, that's 21. We are hoping to, I actually haven't checked in with Labour as to what happened in their caucus today, because there's been a few things happening with Haifu. But given the statements that Labour has made, obviously really hoping that they come on board with that as well. That means that we need just 5 or 6 MPs from the government to use their conscience and to support this bill. We don't need Christopher Luxon anymore. We don't need Winston Peters anymore. And we definitely don't need that other guy. We just need politicians to use their moral compass. And I've asked the Prime Minister directly in question time a week or two ago if he would allow his MPs to use their consciences. Pretty to character and to type, unfortunately, he kind of refused to answer. But I think that that's something, if people who are concerned about this very literal genocide, that's something that people can do over the holidays, is contact their local National MP or even their local New Zealand First MP. I don't know if the other party's worth any of our time.
I noticed how you said "and the other guy" because he's like Voldemort. You're not allowed to say his name. Is that the vibe?
Well, he loves the platform, guys. I think it's that's what I've really struggled with, as I think a lot of people in progressive political circles have this year, is, if you think about something like the Treaty Principles Bill, if you think about all of the divisive and awful stuff that is happening, they are very clearly playing a strategy called constructive polarization. They are not aiming for half of the electorate. They don't care about half of the country. What they want is 10 to 15%, and they will get it by any means necessary.
Yeah.
And what I've been really heartened by is that despite their best attempts to divide us, I have not seen the country more unified in my entire lifetime. The people united, we will win.